wild animals don't like human noise. Their faces press to the glass and suddenly, stillness. I take a deep breath and rest my head on the window glass beside me. The view isn't as good on my side. I never see any animals. She always gets to see them. It's not fair. Coda, my 5-year-old son, complains loudly. And just like that, the silence is over. During this, his 2nd year in kindergarten, he's often sullen for one reason or another. He has spent the last half year refusing to go to school each morning with no clear explanation as to why. Will this pandemic help or hurt him? I can't say. The time ahead feels like the road in front of us, slightly dangerous, with smooth passages as rare as the sighting of wildlife. We are 2 weeks into isolation, introduced to a daily mutating pandemic vocabulary made up of phrases I hadn't previously known existed. COVID-19, social distancing, flattening the curve. Elderly people are dying in nursing homes across the country, unable to touch their loved ones for a last goodbye. Homeless shelters are hotbeds for transmission. Ambulances all over the world are being turned away from hospitals. We are told we will not have enough beds, enough ventilators for everyone who will get sick. But like the layers of rocks beneath us, this is merely one strata. My divorced, elderly parents live across the country. My father remarried, my mother living on her own. I am too far away to visit. Never mind protect either of them. Shaquille and I are 2 brown people running a small business in a time where 1/3 of small businesses are projected to go bankrupt. Overnight, most of our work has been canceled. We are in the middle of a house renovation with a now indeterminate end date, and the tiny apartment we rented back in the city is uninhabitable for 4 bodies full-time. We are temporarily homeless and incomeless, and I'm back to first-year mothering kind of sleeping hours. I thought exile was a thing far in the past. When I was 7 and heard that we had to flee Iran, a country in revolution, for England and then later Canada, my illusion of safety was shattered. I remember walking in our garden in downtown Tehran, repeating, "I hate Khomeini. I hate Khomeini," taking in vain the name of the Islamic fundamentalist who had stolen our country because I needed someone to blame for our forced eviction. Overnight, I lost connection to my family, community, language, and culture. Fear, deep and ongoing, branded the child I was, and so I grew up always expecting the worst to happen. I chased after the wrong boys, sacrificed health to addiction, and sabotaged happiness when it soaked in more than skin deep. It took me until midlife to realize I was stuck in a perpetual loop, going back over and over to that moment of breakage where everything familiar was erased almost overnight. In trauma studies, exile is placed at the top of the list of life stressors. What can be greater than forced displacement? The sudden fault line between the past, the country and place that holds you who you are, and the future waiting for you, the new you that will inhabit it. We are all in exile now. "Look, silver birches!" my son cries, his voice spiraling out the open window. The trees are peeling, their bark fragments like mini prayer flags waving their allegiance to Mother Earth below. Sometime soon, with the coming of spring, these tree skins will let go in a biologically orchestrated dance downwards. Silver birch trees shed their bark gradually, a kind of grace in action. I wonder, will I be able to do the same again? The next morning, I enter the kitchen to put coffee grounds on. Since lockdown began, I've become a serial coffee and wine connoisseur, liquid bookends to each day. We are settled into a typical A-frame cottage on the Canadian Shield, this landmass over 4.2 billion years old, covering over half of Canada and formerly home to volcanic mountain ranges. It's stunning to think of standing on top of more than 100 hardened plates of lava. We've been coming here every summer and fall for over 12 years now, the familiar rock cliffs on the drive up signaling a transition to a slower pace of living. Not this time, though. I can feel my body channeling these volcanic roots, erupting in emotion after emotion, and I'm waiting for the tempering effect of